Okay, I hope that worked out. I hope so. Did it work out okay? Okay, I hope so. Let me just finish setting up here. And, well, great. That looks better. Okay. Greetings from Tokyo. I hope that things are working okay. It's been a while since I've been doing one of these things, so I'm a little bit rusty, but okay, let's try to move this up a bit. Let's try that. Oops. Sorry, greetings from Tokyo. Just give me 1 second. There we go. That's better. Okay, great. Great. So greetings from Tokyo. This is Daisuke, and it's March 11th, 2023. I hope the sound is okay. If the sound is not okay, if it's patchy or spotty, please give me an indication of that so I can try to make adjustments on my side. Otherwise, hello. So it's Saturday morning here, and I wanted to say hello. So I'll give it another we'll give it another minute before we start in earnest, but let me just so is the sound okay? I hope the sound is okay. And let's see. Great. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. All right. How's that? Am I coming through okay? Oh dear. Yes. So the internet, it seems to be pretty bad today. But hopefully that is working out. Is that working out okay? Am I on? I hope so. Okay, great. I'm back. So it looks like my internet is the internet's not so hot today where I am, but these things happen, I suppose. So if I drop in and out of today's live stream, I apologize for that. Again, seems I'm having internet issues. I'm dropping in and out here today. I don't know why, but okay. So greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I want to say hello. It's been I think it's been a while since I've done one of these live stream chats. Excuse me, but I thought today is as good a day as any to return. So I've done so. So let's see. I want to say, let's see, a quick shout out. Oh, there we go. Mikhail is here. Hello. It's nice to see you. Matthew is here. Nice to see you. Great. Thank you for checking that. And let's see. Oh, no. Oh, no. Is the internet not so good today? What's going on? Oh, great. Great. Okay. Sound is good. Thank you, Martin. Great. Thank you. Joel is here as well. Oh, thank you so much, CGJR. It's nice. Thank you so much, Joel. Yes, and I dropped out a little bit, but now I'm back. Now, okay, so I'm having a little bit of computer issues here. So when I try to show some, there we go. Great. Okay, screen. Oh, Clark says the screen's gone dark, but now I'm back. Oh, Gerald's here. It's nice to see you. Okay, you can only see StreamYard, and no, that's me. So just going through here. Delicious peace of mind. Thank you so much. I'm just going to skip down here. All good. Audio superb. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you so much. So I'll go down and I'll start here. So Clark is here. Thank you so much. It's nice to see all of you once again. Really, really nice to see you. Thank you. And I want to let's see. I want to take this opportunity to once again to thank all of your very kind support and generosity. So I had a video uploaded, I think it was about a month ago, where I was expressing a certain degree of frustration with respect to something that I was observing on YouTube in my channel with regard. There we go. Okay, am I back? Am I back? Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. I'm back, I think. I hope I'm back. Again, the internet's really bad today on my side. I'm not sure why. Nothing's changed. I don't think I'm overloading. Maybe I am overloading and I'm not sure, but yes. I hope I'm back. And if I drop out again, I apologize. Again, the last thing I want to do is just I know. I was going to make a Clockwork Orange quote, but I will refrain from doing so. But anyway, I hope I'm back. And so, yes, thank you so much. So again, the internet is, I'm having issues with my internet connection, Wi-Fi connection today. So hopefully this is still working out okay. And I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you so much for all of your lovely support and kindness over the past, over the years since this YouTube channel began in earnest, and then also specifically And also as an example, as a specific example, over the course of, say, the last month or so. So I saw, I expressed a certain degree of frustration over something that I was observing with respect to my YouTube channel. But lo and behold, you came to the rescue, in a manner of speaking, and you were I suddenly saw this huge jump in subscribers, and then I suddenly also saw a lovely kind of expression of an outpouring of support from a lot of people, and a number of people I had not met hitherto. So I want to say thank you so much for your really lovely outpouring of support. Really, really, and I went and I read those comments and I responded to, I think about like 99% of them at this point. So thank you so much. Really, really want to thank you so much for that. I was very, very moved by the expressions of understanding and perspective. And you know YouTube much more than I do, so you know the kind of ins and outs of YouTube and how it works and what might be happening. You have really reasonable guesses as to what goes on, but then at the end of the day, it all kind of worked out. And so I want to thank you so much for this, very much so. I want to say a couple things here before I move on, which is, and I'll make another video about this too, because I think my internet's not so good, so maybe I'm gonna jump in and out of this broadcast. So I want to do things a little bit more proper here, but I hope I'm back. Am I on? I hope so. I hope I'm on. I don't know what this thing about YouTube. This YouTube thing is, sometimes I don't understand what's going on, but that's okay. That's okay. Things like this happen. So I hope I've been oh gosh, I hope I haven't. Have I been talking and just wasn't recording? Oh no. That happens to me every once in a while, but let's see. Happens to me every once in a while, but is it working? Is it working? Oh, great. Is it working? Okay, thank you very much, Hanok. Thank you. So, okay, so I wanted to then just continue, and I'll make another video about this proper, but I wanted to say a few things now, very, very briefly, which is, and then I'll go to the live chat, which is I wanted to say that, yeah, I think, I have this way of doing, like YouTube like stuff, which is, I think some people might, and I'm not sure what the reason is exactly, but I think, and no one, I think people have mentioned this to me, not in any kind of bad way, but just really, really in a lovely, supportive, concerning way. Some people have posited that it could be because I have a tendency to what's the phrase, dump a lot of videos all at once. If I upload something, it tends to be like 2 or 3 or 4 sometimes, or 5 or more. So and I should try to probably spread them out a little bit more, in terms of scheduling and the like, and try to spread them out more, and then think about the algorithm and notifications and stuff. And so I know I've always had that in the back of my mind, to be perfectly honest. So that, and ever since the whole thing, YouTube started, my channel started. So it's nothing new. So I want to say that thank you very much for that perspective. It really, really helps out. I suppose I would say that, while I do try a certain type of kind of scheduling, at the same time, how should I put it? I always think at the end of the day, maybe, and this is my failing, I should try to think a bit more of the YouTube algorithm, I suppose. But I always think at the end of the day, I can't really wrap my head around that. for a number of reasons. I know you can schedule videos, but I always think, I'll just put it up there and then just leave it at that. So that I'm kind of that thinking framework, and so it just I just like the idea of talking about it and then talking about something and then just putting it up as soon as possible. I guess I'm that kind of I think I approach it in that way. So I become over eager in terms of wanting to talk about a certain movie, I suppose, and then that my over eagerness, I think, gets the better of me in terms of YouTube algorithm stuff. So and I thought, okay, maybe should I think more about the YouTube algorithm, or should I think more about my over eagerness? And sometimes I think, I should try to think more about the YouTube algorithm, and I try to think, but then at the end of the day, stuff it, and I just decide to make it available, because I'm so excited to not just talk about the film with you, but then also talk about get ready for the next video discussion. That's always what I'm thinking. That it's very, very simple. So I always try to change that, but at the end of the day, I can't change. So that's my doing, and so I'll totally take the slings and arrows of that, I suppose. And I think some people, I have heard some people, maybe expressed like, maybe you're doing too many YouTube shorts at once, and I think, that's very fair, but it's the same feeling, which is like, I always like, the shorts were just, I could either do it there or do it in video form, or just not do it at all. Like wherever I do in that department, I'll get complaints. So it seems like I can't win, but oh well. So at the moment, I'm just thinking, I won't do that sort of thing for a while, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't think the world is going to be lamenting the fact that I'm not going to be showing any more of my very bad impressions, but we shall see. And then also another thing, but in any event, I want to say thank you very much for that lovely perspective. I thought that was really, really lovely, really nice. And I just want to say that for in terms of trying to better position myself in terms of the YouTube algorithm, I am thinking about that, but at the same time, I'm not thinking about that. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I always think I just want to. I want to try to better myself on the algorithm, but at the same time, I just want to talk about movies. So it's one of those things, and so I think at the end of the day, I'm going to rely on you and your great how should I put it? You're great. You know more about it than I do, YouTube stuff. So I'm going to rely on you and your advice. And if that's okay, if I can rely on you on how to better position myself this way, then I can continue doing this thing, which is talking about these movies. So very much so. I like to think of it as a type of I don't want to say partnership, but I want to think of it like I think of it like a tag team, or I think of it like, I think you are a really important part of this channel, very, very important. So I mean, it's the channel would be nothing. It wouldn't exist unless you were there. So you continue to kind of counsel me and coach me and guide me in this sort of these matters. So I'm going to rely on your advice going forward. But for the time being, I'm just going to try to think about. Well, I'm actually probably not going to make any major changes in terms of how I upload things. It's pretty much going to be the way it's been for the most part since up to the end of last year. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is I want to say too that I was so how should I put it? I was so happy. Well, not happy. Well, I was very happy to receive all these comments, and I received also like maybe a couple negative comments there as well. And like I was about ready to just, what I usually try to do with negative comments, I just read them and just digest them and say thank you very much, and thank you very much, and I hope you find the channels that you're looking for. I'm sorry I couldn't satisfy your needs, etc. So which is what I tried to do with all negative comments. But when I read there was a negative comment thread on one of the videos, and then or something, and as I was about to respond, I saw all these responses from other people, kind of coming to my defense, say, "What are you doing? This is it's just completely defending me in this way." And I was totally taken aback by that. I don't I don't usually I don't usually I mean I don't like negative comments, to be perfectly blunt, but I don't and I kind of sometimes they bother me a little bit, but at the end of the day I say, oh, whatever. And then and the opinion is very important. And so I try to think, I'll try to not let it get too much to me, but I don't want to delete anything, and I just want to thank the people for taking the time to comment anyway. So, but a lot of people came to my defense with certain negative comments, and so I want to thank you so much for that as well. I wasn't expecting that type of kind of rigorous defense on my part. But you came and you were just this but you were also very you were energetic, and also very polite at the same time. So I want to say thank you very much for coming to my defense in that way. I'm very 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 lucky to be able to know you in that way, and it's totally not necessary. You don't have to do that. I don't want any kind of it's not necessary to have any type of debate or unnecessary angst on the comment section of the videos on my YouTube channel. I mean, that's the last thing I want, is for you to feel any type of stress. So there's no need to have to step in where you don't feel comfortable. I can always try to handle it on my own as well. But the fact that you kind of stepped in and tried to come to my defense in a very polite yet energetic way, I was very flattered by that. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I'm again totally not deserving of this type of attention, but the fact that you give it to me in this way is, yeah, I'm very very honored by that. Thank you. And I want to say also that I received a number of super chats, or super thanks, excuse me, and it was for a lot of money. So I'm going to make a separate video to thank those people in person, or not in person, but in a video format proper. But I have the list of people here. Let me just say really briefly now, but I will make another video proper about this. But Jonathan, Masteller, Brian Schmella, Times New Roman, Steve Moody, Banjo Watson, Michael Angelo, Jovial Josh, Will Ryan, Richie. I want to say thank you so much to all of you who left behind super thanks. The money will go 100% to Blu-ray purchases. So I'm not sure what will be purchased, but thank you so much. Really, really thank you. Thank you so much for that. Very honored by that indeed. And so and I want to say just thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You made me feel very, very welcome. Welcomed to your lovely group and your community. So thank you for making me feel like part of the group. That makes me very I'm very moved by that. So thank you. Thank you very much. So with that not out of the way, that's a really terrible way of saying it. I apologize. But with those words, those important words, those feelings that I wanted to express in gratitude towards you, with those now being said, let me now go to the chat. So, okay, Gerald and Reginald, thank you so much. You're thank you. Oh, Donald's here. It's nice to see you. It's been a while, hasn't it? I think, but it's great to see you, Donald. Really, really great to see you. I hope you're well. Gleaming TV, thank you so much. Thank you. You were talking about I think a comment about how I was receiving these gifts from people, and I was receiving all these gifts from all these people, really lovely gifts. I mentioned Mike and also Tanner, and also I didn't mention other people that I whose gifts I'd received earlier, like Seth and also Sergeant Pepper and then Stealthborn as well. So thank you so much. I'm totally undeserving of these gifts, very very undeserving, but I'm very very happy to receive them. But thank you so much, Gleamy. So I think you'd mentioned that I was very fortunate. I do feel very very lucky, indeed. I don't deserve this good fortune. Thank you. Gregory's here. It's nice to see you. Henok, it's nice to see you again. Great. Adam is here. It's nice that. And Hottie 79, very good. Oh, and like that, he's gone. There we go. Yes. I haven't seen that movie in quite a while, actually. I saw that in the theater, though. Yeah. CGJR. Oh, and Henok says, this is why I enjoy old-style entertainment way better than the kind of modern hogwash that Marvel brings to us. And you continue, the old-style entertainment is great in my opinion. Hunter is here. Hunter with finally caught a live stream and with a super chat. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for this, my dear friend. That's very kind of you. Wow, very very kind of you. Wow, I hope you're well, Hunter. Wow. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Gosh. Thank you. Yeah, Blips. Thank you, CGJR. Thanks for your comments, and I say plural because I know you left a number of comments. I responded to most of them, I think. So Jared is here. Thank you so much, dear friend Jared. Roger, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. Oh, great. Comic Rima Records. Zyrother is here. Oh, gosh. Donald says it's a wonderful group of cinema friends, including you as well. Oh, it's so great to see you again, Donald. Matt is here. Matt, oh, lovely. Oh, Reginald asks about Park Chan-wook's Vengeance trilogy. It was near the end of the stream. Oh, gosh, but you, it's yes. So the Vengeance trilogy, it's not on Criterion, is it? I don't think so. But this is you can find it other areas, which actually I have a release of it on another label, but definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Yeah. Seth, our dear friend Seth, it's nice to see you. Fern Gully. Is this Fern Gully? You mean Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest? That film? Yes, I've seen it. Delicious Peace of Mind. Yes, thank you. I fear factoring an algorithm could taint what I love about your videos the most, my friend. Oh, that's a really kind way to mention it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Matt, it's nice to thank you for sending me a YouTube mint. Not a problem, Matt. Thank you for stopping by. Jason is here. Hello. Megan Hussey is here. Hello, Megan. You say you make us feel that we are part of your awesome channel. Thank you. Well, thank you. It's my pleasure, but also it's the truth. Definitely. Megan and others here. And as I say, because if it weren't for, if you weren't there, I would just be talking to my iPhone and that would be it. So, and I like my iPhone, I suppose, but it's always nicer to talk to my iPhone knowing that there's someone on the other end, so thank you very much for making, as I say, Megan and others here, thank you very much for making me feel welcomed by you. It's totally my feelings. So thank you so much. Let's see. Biozombie. Oh, it's being released by Vinegar Syndrome. Oh, and crucial plot points revolves around a bottle of Lucozade. Thank you so much for this. I love Lucozade. Oh, it's nice to see you, Dr. Impossible of Counterpunch 1984. It's nice to see you again. Yes, you remember. Thank you. Master of Criterion, lover of Potter. Dennis, of course. Yes, of course. Dennis Potter. I was just rewatching The Singing Detective, and I was just revisiting the Melvin Bragg final interview, which is I'm sure you've seen the Melvin Bragg interview with Dennis Potter. I'm sure you have. I have the I have a VHS tape recording of it, and I also have the text of it as well. The final interview, the last interview, the final, the Faber and Faber publication. I have that. So I love this. That was the first time I think I'd really experienced the language of Dennis Potter as spoken by Dennis Potter in that final interview. And I was so struck, for example, I would have been a young teenager when I first saw that, I suppose. But I was struck, for example, this is Dennis Potter's final interview with Melvin Bragg. I think you can watch it on YouTube, maybe. I'm not sure, but it's so lovely. He's talking about seeing the that was the title of it. It's called Seeing the Blossom, and he was talking the penness of the pen and the nowness of the now. He was emphasizing the fact that he was at the moment he was dying from inoperable cancer, and that he only had his doctors. He had very, very limited time to live, and so he was working so frenziedly on this final work that ended up being Cold Lazarus. And so, but he was trying to write as much as he could before, and try to finish the work before he would pass on. And he spoke in that interview, for instance, about the old hymnals, right? And he Forest of Dean, and will there be any stars? And at the interview, he says he loves how it's emphasized and it's repeated. Will there be any stars in my crown? He says he makes a point of noting how lovely he thought that phrase "any stars" was repeated. Will there be any stars in my crown? When the evening sun goes down, will I wake with the blessed in the mansion of rest? Will there be any stars in my crown? So, and that becomes very significant, as those who know Dennis Potter and others might attest to. But anyway, I'm totally going off topic here. I apologize, but I guess I'm not, because Dr. Impossible Counterpunch 1984 mentioned Dennis Potter. So thank you so much, my dear friend. Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I will. Okay, so I will. I'll keep on doing the impressions then. Definitely. Thank you. I'll keep doing them. So I guess I did my my Usual Suspects one today. Should I? Let's see. Well, I was going to do one. It's hard to do the Usual Suspects impressions without kind of giving away what happens. So anyway, I'll think about it. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you. Times Square GT is your 2001 or Solaris, excuse me. Do I have to make a choice? Oh my goodness. Oh, I wouldn't be able to make a choice, I'm afraid. What I like about, I can say what gosh, they are actually quite different beasts, in a certain manner of speaking. Because one can say, one could say, and I know this isn't the only way of looking at it, you could say that 2001: A Space Odyssey is very outward, whereas Solaris is very inward. And so they're actually going in different directions. Of course, there's a lot of similarities in terms of the genre, in terms of how they approach this not concepts, but this type of viewpoint that's laced in sort of science fiction or future storytelling. or technology enraptured. But there's a way in which there's a type of external. I don't want to say progress, but there's one direction that's 2001 is moving in, and Solaris is moving in a direction that's perhaps different. Solaris, I would say, is moving in a direction that I mentioned inward. It feels like it's talking about the notion of how kind of exterior space is almost irrelevant. And it's all about not just the inward space, but also perceptions of inward space. And sometimes those perceptions of inward space, such as how we feel about other people, the memories that we cherish, things that are very important to us, maybe since childhood, those little moments of being with family members, being with loved ones, those are very much in almost a frightening way, almost reliant not on the actual perceptions or actual feelings, but all our perceptions of what we think reality is. And if we think of it that way, it's a very subjective matter. It's almost very gooey, and it's very amorphous, and thus it becomes very inward. It's a journey. It's an inward journey. Whereas 2001, not to say that 2001 is bereft of those ideas entirely, but I would say that in a general trajectory, it feels more outward in the sense it's trying to make statements of storytelling in the context of storytelling about humanity outside of itself, rather than going inside of itself. And so when I say outside of it, that's my other way of saying it's about like kind of evolution, evolving to the next stage. And so there are moments where it seems like perception is warped in that transformation aspect. Things are seen, images, lights, and way in which time is perceived, I understand, but there is also a way in which that is used to suggest a sense of evolution or transformation to another step. 2001, Space Odyssey is always about jumps. It's always about how the jump is portrayed, either cinematically or in terms of human evolution, because human evolution is in essence a series of jumps, much like cinema is a series of jumps via the edit from one frame to another. 2001: A Space Odyssey having perhaps one of the most famous edits in movie history, of course, with the bone. So it's about jumps, how things are jumping to the next stage. Whereas Solaris, I feel it's going in a different direction. So in that way, I can't make a choice between the two. But it's a good question. All right. Let's see. Oh, Bobby Lee, thank you so much. And you say not everyone offering critiques and criticism is doing it with it objective. Yes. Offering, yes, I understand. Yes, not everyone offering critiques and criticisms is doing it with objectivity. Yeah, I totally understand. Thank you. I know there's some how should I put it? There are some there's some pretty nasty people out there. That's for sure. Really, really nasty people out there. So I totally understand that. But I always try, this is a kind of just a little thing between you and me, which is my approach has always been, even with the nasty people, I always try to say, thank you very much, and then move on. Because 9 times out of 10, they'll probably never come back to this channel anyway. And also, it kind of, how should I put it? It kind of it's always good to kind of leave, I think, with it. I mean, it might not turn, you're not going to be friends at the end of the day, I understand, but it always turns out it looks better if one kind of leaves on a kind of, I don't know, just thank you very much and move on. And also I always try to mention this to people who might be upset by receiving these sorts of comments, which is, don't worry about it, because at the end of the day, it's just it's another view on your view count, so it actually helps you. So, but in any event, yes, that's a really good point, Bobby Lee. Thank you. So not everyone is going to be offering critiques objectively. I totally understand that. I totally understand that. But thanks very much for the lovely, lovely reminder. You're very kind to remind me of that. Thank you. Oh, Matthew, you're so kind. Thank you so much. Wow. Wow, don't let the heinous trolls. That's a really interesting point. I don't have um I um I remember there's like if but like I remember like I sometimes got these kind of racist comments. I don't get those much anymore, but sometimes I get these really racist comments. If I get those, I'll just turn them off and just say, don't come back or something. But I don't know where to draw the line. But you're absolutely right. Thank you so much, Matthew, for being out there and being kind of looking out for my best interests. Thank you. Oh, thank you. The delicious peace of mind. Thank you so much. I agree. Would rather experience a glimpse into honest, eager Daisuke moment and your unique world and having good chunk of that spontaneous inspiration sacrifice on the altar of the algorithm. Thank you. Eric is here. Thank you. Oh, it's so nice to see you. Interesting. Original. I, I guess I could. Well, I mean, I don't know about Renaissance. I could try to do. Well, I don't know. Well, I was gonna say I could do Sylvester Stallone, but anyway, I'll save that for another day. Perhaps. Stuart Morris is here. Thank you. Will you be watching the Oscars Daisuke? No, I can't. I don't know how to watch the Oscars here in Japan. I guess I could try, but that's a really good point. What is it? Are they? When are they? I'm totally behind. I don't follow the Oscars that much. I mean, I kind of know what's nominated or who's nominated, but then I forgot. So, is it this weekend? Is it this week? I'm so embarrassed. Is it this weekend? Oh, okay. I'm so sorry about it. I'm really embarrassed. What is it, the 12th or the 3rd? That's this weekend, right? Okay. Or Monday or something. Okay. So I'll try to thank you for the reminder, Stuart. Thank you. That reminds me too that at long last, Top Gun Maverick is made available to watch, I think, on streaming, Netflix or something. So I have to watch that. I'm going to watch that this weekend. Top Gun Maverick. I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you. Gosh, thank you. Again, you all are looking, about this stuff more than I do. So thank you so much for this great reminder. I guess I really should be talking more about the Oscars, who I think is going to win, etc. But I'm totally bad with that sort of stuff. And I don't, again, I used to follow the Oscars a lot, but now I hardly ever, actually, to be perfectly honest. Nothing against the Oscars, nothing against people who cover the Oscars. I think it's a great thing, and I learn a lot. It's just I'm totally bad when it comes to watching recent releases, and then because of that, I can't keep up with who's watching the Oscars. Like sometimes when I look at the nomination list, I think this is it's the first time I'm hearing about some of these films. I'm that bad when it comes to new releases. So, let's see. Gong Fu is here. It's nice to see you, my dear friend. Thank you. Infinite Dan 24. Thank you. Oh, Kelly Reichardt. Yes. I've been going through a number of Reichardt's works that, for example, are in Criterion. So there might be some. I can't promise anything. There might be something further say about this on this channel later in the year. Let's see. CG. No. Your comments, my dear friend, are really, really welcome. And I also just want to say, I finally understand the meaning of CGJR in all caps. Let me put it that way. Thank you so much. That was really cool. That was so cool, my friend. You shared a little bit of yourself with me in that. So that's why I love the comment section. That's so great. Oh, ED1 RKO7. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you, my dear friend. How are you doing? Henok, we're already part of your channel, so we owe we owe our debt to you. So not at all, Henok, not at all. You are so Stuart. Yes, there's a decent. That's right. I mentioned regarding the comment from earlier in the chat. That's the one that I have. Roger, yes. Did you know of the Star Trek original series steelbook release? Is there a steelbook release of Star Trek? That's really cool. I'm gonna say something. It could be kind of controversial, actually, which is, I'm personally, I don't usually. I'm probably not the best when it comes to steelbook collecting. I'm definitely not the best when it comes to slip covers or slip cases. So I usually don't mind if I get the steel cover version or not. I know some people have really great steel cover, steelbook collections, which is so fascinating and so awe-inspiring. But I usually I don't mind either way. Um, so and sometimes I find steel books difficult to open. So like I have the steel book of Dune from Arrow, and I have the most difficult time opening it, and that's also closing it. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the closing mechanism on a particular copy. I'm not sure, but uh, yeah, it's that's, or like I don't know what to do with the flap of the piece of cardboard that covers the top opening of the steelbook on some, like for instance, I have a steelbook of like Lifeboat or something, a Hitchcock film, Masters of Cinema, I think, and there's a flap of cardboard with glue that is kind of affixes the cardboard or the sort of the stiff paper on the back of the steelbook. But I always have to undo the cardboard first in order to be able to open it fully. But I don't want to lose the cardboard because I think it's really nice to have on the back there. But if I put it in a separate file, then I forget about it like a week later. So it's all these little details that I just can't wrap my head around in terms of that. But that's great. So but anyway, that's my 2 cents on my own personal steelbook journey, as limited as it is, and the like. And also because too, in terms of international shipping, steelbooks tend to be a little bit more expensive for me because of the weight, the heaviness of it, I suppose, when compared to, say, the plastic casing of these things. But oh well. But going back to Roger's comment about the original series, oh, that's interesting. So I don't know. I mean, I have the original series on a number of releases already, but yeah, I love that. I love Star Trek. I really, really love Star Trek. Thanks for the info, by the way. Scream 6. Oh, so there's a new Scream movie. Okay, so was it is it like Home Alone 2 Lost in New York? It's like Scream 6 Lost in New York or something like that. But I love Scream. So I haven't seen Scream. What was it? Scream 5, is it? I haven't seen Scream 5. I've seen Scream, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, but I haven't seen the most recent ones, including the most recent ones. So, I was I remember when my favorite of the bunch is, I think, Scream and Scream 2. I really should try to catch up with those films, but okay. So Dr. Impossible says, "I'm sick to death of Scream 6. Just need an injection of thoughtful and alternative cinema. My days of attending mainstream cinema are well and truly over. The mundane disease of Hollywood." Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting way of putting it. Like I can remember. Let's see. Well, there's always the Dennis Potter releases, of course. Maybe watch a bit of Pennies from Heaven. Oh, I love Pennies from Heaven, by the way. It's one of my dream projects to do Pennies from Heaven, going through the series episode by episode, but maybe one of these days. Oh, speaking of which, this reminds me, thank you so much for your really kind attention and lovely attention, and allowing me to finish the Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me discussions. It was one film, but it ended up being like 10 or 11 videos talking about this one film. So I want to thank you so much. It was one of my dream projects to be able to speak about that. Oh, to be able to speak about that. The light's gone out. To be able to speak about that. But maybe it was the Twin Peaks. Speaking of Twin Peaks, maybe the man from another place, or Bob, is just took the electricity out because they're using electricity for other things, or maybe by electricity. But anyway, yes. So I'm very thankful to, I don't know why that is. Oh, well. I'm very thankful to all of you who gave me that wonderful support for Twin Peaks Fire Welcoming discussions. So thank you so much. That was a lot of fun. It was a dream come true for me. A real dream come. Let's see. Which packaging is better? So, are you able to get the older Blu-ray release, which is now out of print? Although now you can get, of course, Chungking Express in the new Wonker Y box set. Although I prefer the non-restored version of Chungking Express. I like the restored versions. For instance, the big one that I think got a lot of controversial attention was Fallen Angels. In particular, Fallen Angels got a lot of kind of not backlash, but there's I think those Fallen Angels, the restored version, restoration version, I think has the most visible changes in terms of some moments becoming like black and white to color and vice versa, and the aspect ratio and certain greenish qualities, etc. But actually, I like the restoration version of Fallen Angels a lot. For those reasons, it actually helps, from my viewpoint, to enhance the viewing experience of Fallen Angels. So now, over time, the restoration version is becoming my preferred version for Fallen Angels. That cannot, however, be said for me when it comes to Chungking Express. I prefer the non-restoration version of Chungking Express. And the big reason is because of the music. The music has been altered. The songs are the same, but the what I forget, it's the pitch, or the pitch has been elevated or altered, so it's very different. It's like when you listen to a song and then you listen to it on a record, but the record's on a speed that's different from how you're used to listening it, so it sounds like it's a different song altogether. Well, that's what it sounds like every time I watch the restoration version of Chungking Express, and so it sounds like it's different. I mean, maybe, who knows, maybe for all the time, has everyone never done that? Go back and watch Chungking Express and count how many times California Dreaming has been played. But so maybe it was a means of trying to make that fresh in the ears of people who've watched Chungking Express a lot. But I didn't need it. I thought the original, the quote unquote, the original pitch of the song is how I then am used to it watching the film, and that's actually how I'm used to listening to the song beyond the film itself. So it always matches how I listen, and also Fei Wong's song, etc. But so when I watch the restoration version, the pitch is always different from how I'm used to listening to the music. So I always prefer the non-restoration version of Chungking Express. But what was I? Oh yeah, so you mentioned the type of casing. I'm always it's a little bit flimsier, the Digipack casing of Chungking Express, because that was the first wave of these Digipack releases, Chungking Express and the Earrings of Madame De, or I want to say like Bottle Rocket, and 400 Blows, I think, was in there. I forget, but there was the first batch of Criterion releases of Digipack Blu-ray releases, and it was a bit flimsy, especially coming now. If they kind of fold a little bit, or you press them and they kind of sandwich a little bit, but there's a type of nice, lovely quality to those early Digipack releases from Criterion. So if I were you, I would get the Digipack release of Chungking Express. How is that for a long-winded answer to your question? I apologize for that. It's a good question, though. Pasolini 101. Yes. Juan, thank you so much. Thank you. I agree. All you lucky people. Oh, so the final trailer for Super Mario Brothers dropped. Oh, that's cool. I haven't seen it. I'm looking forward to watching that. My family are big fans of Super Mario Brothers. And if there are any Nintendo Switch people out there, but I love Nintendo Switch. Mario Odyssey, and any Odyssey fans or any Splatoon 3 fans? I love Splatoon 3. We're also excited for Pikmin 4 later this year. Okay, Seth is. I'm booking a short vacation at the end of August for Las Vegas. Oh, and you're gonna watch Casino and other films in anticipation. Always wanted to go. Oh, it's so cool. Yeah. Oh gosh. Maybe another one's like the Ocean's films. Ocean's 11. I saw Ocean's 11 in the theater, and I think I want to say Elliot Gould's glasses in Ocean's 11 are the same glasses that I'm wearing right now. I think. They're certainly oversized. They're really cool. I love Elliot Gould's glasses in the Ocean's movies. My favorite I like the first one, Ocean's 11. Yeah, I like Ocean's 11 very much. Dr. Impossible, yes, yes. What would Potter make of British TV today? Despair with the lack of intelligent dialogue and restrictive thought. The Blue Remembered Hills, yes, Blue Remembered Hills. Or the one that I would love to see a release of. I'll probably never get a release of is Black Eyes. That's probably his most controversial series. I don't think it ever got a kind of DVD release or something. I don't think it ever will, but it's pretty. It was considered, like, the Sun called him Dirty Den, right? It was the Sun, I think, but it would be really interesting to have a reevaluation of Black Eyes in today's climate. Really, I don't know how well it will go over, but Dennis Potter. Oh, if you haven't watched any Dennis Potter series, you've got it, like The Singing Detective. Blue Remembered Hills. Oh my goodness. Or Brimstone and Treacle, or Pennies from Heaven, I mentioned earlier. Probably the one that is most famous is probably The Singing Detective, and then Pennies from Heaven. Oh, you've got to watch those if you haven't seen those. Oh, those are fantastic. Oh my goodness. Roll Along Prairie Moon. Etienne, it's so nice to see you. Oh, it's great to see you. Oh, Gong Fu says, what are your thoughts on The Last of Us TV series? So I have not seen any of The Last of Us. I've heard about it, and I've heard people saying it's fantastic. I haven't seen it. I don't know how I don't know how I'm going to see it here in Japan anyway. But as I said, I'm so bad when it comes to catching up with recent release. I haven't seen Top Gun Maverick yet. I haven't seen Avatar 2. Yeah, I haven't seen that yet either. So, but I've heard a lot of people recommend that. So, Komodo's here. Oh, it's nice to see you. Oh, and speaking of, yeah. Oh, yes, it was a 2001 reference. Well done. Well done. Oh, Mainly Movies. Yes. Oh, Mainly Movies. You got to check out Mainly Movies, our dear friend Mainly Movies channel. And she's at the moment going through each of the categories of the Oscars and going through her kind of ranking or her choices as to the top nominees. So well done. So Mainly Movies, go to Mainly Movies channel, subscribe, like, and especially if you're if you're into the Oscars, it's one of the great places to go. So much better than I when it comes to Oscars. So it's a Sunday. Thank you very much, Mainly Movies, my dear friend. Thank you. And you also left behind some comment on a video last. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. It's great. We should have another talk when because I remember that interview I had with you on the channel a year or so back. It was so much fun. We should do that again. Mainly Movies. Subscribe to Mainly Movies. Hanok 2001 is a great and multi-layered movie. Well said. Well said indeed. Oh, Etienne, I don't remember hearing speaking about Westerns. I love Westerns. So I haven't spoken about Westerns. I guess you're right. I was thinking about, should I do another 31 days and then 31 days of Western movies? My dad in particular loved Westerns. He loved Westerns. He'd always I just remember sometimes in the kitchen when I was a kid, just be doing something, and then I suddenly hear from the hallway him in another room saying like the title from Western, like I'd just be drinking or eating cereal or something at the kitchen table, and he'd be in another room, and suddenly I'd hear his voice saying, "She wore a yellow ribbon" or something, or or he'd be walking into the kitchen and he'd be humming the theme song to, he'd be, the gun at the OK Corral. He'd be OK Corral. He'd just be singing the, gunfight at OK Corral. OK, gunfight at OK Corral. He'd just be singing this. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Or he'd be saying like, suddenly, I remember I'd be in another room and he'd be somewhere else, and suddenly he'd shout out, Shane, Shane. And then my mom would then say, Shane. And they'd just be going back and forth, Shane. My father would say, Shane. And my mother would say, Shane, Shane, Shane. I'm like thinking to myself as a kid, what's going on here? What's this? Because at the point I was a little boy and I hadn't seen Shane yet. And then they showed it to me. It was really cool. I was like, oh, that's what they were talking about all, when I was a little boy, talking about Shane. So that was but speaking of Westerns, I think one of my dream projects is one day to be able on this channel to go through each of the films of the great Sergio Leone. And that would give me the opportunity to talk about, I guess I've spoken a little bit about Once Upon a Time in the West. If you have not seen Once Upon a Time in the West, turn off this live stream, go find a copy of Once Upon a Time in the West and watch it. Don't read anything about what it's about. Don't look at cast lists. Don't look at IMDb. Don't look at Wikipedia. Don't look at Twitter or anything. Just go and watch Once Upon a Time in the West and know nothing. Don't know nothing going in. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good idea, Etienne. Really good idea. Let's see. Blah blah. Will we be getting the Bruce Lee box set from? Is there? I didn't know this. Is there a Bruce Lee box set coming from Arrow? I didn't know this at all. I'm totally behind the times. I'll have to check this right now. This is news to me. Bruce Lee Arrow video. Let's see. Oh, okay. So coming. Oh, that's really interesting. So I didn't know about this. See, and it was from last month, or no, from the end of. That's okay. When is it coming out? I'm really bad when it comes to this news. I don't keep up with this. So I was so keen on getting the, it's the 4K releases. That's right. But I didn't. Okay. I don't know. I'll have to get it. But again, I don't know. My wallet is getting a little bit tight these days. So I'm not sure. I'll have to check that out. Thanks for the news. Thank you. Again, I don't know anything about this stuff. I don't get any, I don't check that stuff as much anymore. I really should. I should get on their web. I was on their newsletter, but then I wasn't getting their stuff recently, so I don't know. But anyway, and also it's been a kind of a busy couple months, a few months here, actually, to be perfectly honest. There might be some big, should I say it now? I don't know. There might be some big news. Well, let me just say there's something pretty big is going to happen later this year. So I'll let you know when I know the specifics. Yeah, something pretty big is going to happen. So it's very exciting news, but I'll let you know a little bit later. So I've been a little bit preoccupied with a number of things of late, so maybe that's why it fell. Thank you. Let's see. Dr. Impossible continues. Oh yes, spiritual. You're absolutely right. Absolutely. Times Square GT. You watched the new Scream film. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. There are some winks to Argento. Well done. So I've been thanks to our dear friend Tanner and our dear friend Stealthborn. I've been recently on a Dario Argento re-kick. So I've been rewatching a number of his films. I've gotten around. I finally understand The Card Player, and I finally understand Phantom of the Opera. Finally, Giallo. I don't understand. I don't understand Giallo. The film Giallo. I really don't like that film. But The Card Player, I get it. I'm happy to say I enjoy that film now very much. And then Phantom of the Opera, I get it now. I didn't realize it before, but if we make the reference comparison of Dario Argento to Federico Fellini, if Dario Argento's directed film Tenebrae could be akin to Federico Fellini's 8.5, then Dario Argento's Phantom of the Opera, I think, in very, very reasonable and fair measure, could be akin to Fellini's Satyricon. It's that kind of jump when it comes to like aesthetics and style. So, and I didn't realize it, but now I'm realizing it more fully. And I also saw the 5 Days too, the Dario Argento film, The 5 Days, from the early 1970s. This is after Four Flies on Grey Velvet, but before Deep Red. And I had the Italian DVD of it, but it didn't have subtitles, so I was never able to follow what was going on. But now I am, and I'm so amazed by it, and it really drove the point home to me. I didn't realize it before, but Dario Argento, a lot of it has to do with the producers that he was working with. For instance, his father Salvatore Argento, and also his brother Claudio. A little bit later, and then sometimes he'd be producing on his own, and then sometimes they would be there, sometimes they wouldn't. In particular, Salvatore Argento had a real big influence in terms of essentially protecting Dario Argento during his early film days, and I didn't quite realize that until recently. But then also there's his work relationships with Dario Nicolodi and Asia Argento, etc. But one of the things that struck me now is just how much it seems that Dario Argento is wanting to do things so differently. He always wants to do things different. He doesn't want to repeat himself. You just look at a film like Suspiria and look at a film like Inferno, and just look at the hesitancy that he had in trying to make Mother of Tears before he ended up making the quote-unquote third Mother's film. But I mean, you just look at those films; those are completely radically different from each other, and you can tell, you can get a sense of that he wants to do something different with each thing. Even with his quote-unquote giallo films, you go from Bird with Crystal Plumage to Cat o' Nine Tails to Four Flies, and it's Four Flies and Grey Velvet. It's a kind of different tone in each, varying degrees of success depending on who you ask, of course. But then you go jump to Deep Red, and you go from there to Tenebrae. Oh my goodness! And then you go from there to Phenomena, then to Opera. Wow, maybe much less opera, but from Deep Red to Tenebrae, and then to Phenomena, if you count Phenomena as a giallo, which I think you could. Anyway, yeah. Oh, that's so cool. So Scream 6. Okay, very cool. Thank you. Red Queen kills 7 times. Yes, well done. Yes, well done. Etienne, oh, thank you so much, Etienne, my dear friend. That's really kind of you. Thank you. Oh, you're very kind. Oh, Matthew says, "Hey, say Millennium Era." So, I love Godzilla 1980. I guess what's it? It's Godzilla 1985 in the English version with Raymond Burr. It's also called Godzilla, or sometimes called The Return of Godzilla. I love that. Dare I say it? I love the Raymond Burr version, the Raymond Burr Dr. Pepper version. I saw that as a kid, the Raymond Burr Dr. Pepper version, Godzilla 1985. I saw that as a kid in the theater, and it was mind numbing, and so I think because of that lovely haze of nostalgia, as well as the memories associated with it, I love that film to bits. And I've seen it so many times, and the whole thing with the giant bugs on the ship, it really scared me. And then and the whole thing with the I love the bit where like the nuclear explosion, and then they're all looking at the kind of the nuclear fallout from the red rays, and it's like a beautiful, lovely thing. This wow, and not what an 80s Cold War film that is. But the bum. I love the bum, that guy. I love that guy. But and it's cut differently. Depending on what version it's at, the English language version or the Japanese version, what happens to his character is actually radically different depending on what version you see, depending on the editing. But in any event, yeah. So what was it? And the thing about that screening Again, I just saw it in the theater. My mom took me as a kid at 85, so I'd have been what, like 5 years old or 6 years old or something. And I remember that before the actual main movie started, it was you saw was it Bambi versus Godzilla that was showing in the movie theater before the main attraction. So it was amazing. I saw Bambi versus Godzilla in the movie theater. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. I had no idea what it was, and just like wow. Anyway, but there's so many. Randy, it's here. Nice to see you. Stuart, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, so for the Oscars, thank you. Yes, Komodo, you're right, absolutely right. That's Chronologic. It's here. Nice to see you. Fantastic. You picked up the Bruce Lee set the Criterion one. That's fantastic. I was just made aware of the Arrow release. Well, I guess it's 4K. I guess I'm not sure. I have to look into that. I'm totally behind the times when it comes to these sorts of details. Oh, very cool. Matthew Lockwood. It's the Oscars aren't the same. I don't know. I remember I saw the ones with. Do you remember the Oscar show with? I'm speaking of Shane and speaking of westerns, and Jack Palance doing the one hand push-ups. Dr. Paul, that's great. Ace Video Store. I haven't seen Cocaine Bear yet. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. Oh, Yoshitaro Nomura. Oh, wow. Wow. Well done. The Demon. Well done. Yes. Nomura is it's kind of one of my favorites. So they're really scary, really scary films. A lot of them are really great. Well done. Yes. The Singing Detective Donald, our dear friend Donald. Cool. Oliver Reed film. I loved Oliver Reed in Gladiator. I was in Gladiator, right? I mentioned The Brood. Also, there's a film version of Agatha Christie's, and Then There Were None, starring Oliver Reed and so many people. Oliver Reed, Herbert Lom, Gert Frobe. Well, so many people. Let's see. Very cool. Oh, Chris, nice to see you, Chris. Yes, Steelbooks. Thank you so much. Yes, it's nice to see you, Chris. I hope you're well. Oh wow, you're so kind, CG. Again, that's so cool. You shared me that little detail. I didn't know what CGJR meant, but now I know. Yes, thank you, Jack. Yeah, Jake, thank you. The dent, yeah, I guess it's the dent on my Steelbook, the Dune Steelbook. It's so hard to open now, or it's hard to close as well. Oh, so frustrating. Anyway, Mark, oh, so cool from Canada. Nice to see you. Thank you. Stuart says Scream or Scream 5. You know, that's the thing too. I don't like it when new films like they don't like Halloween. You know, it's just called Halloween, but there's already a Halloween. So why not call it Halloween, whatever, 2018 or something, just or Halloween 8 or something, or Halloween 9 or whatever it is. Just don't call it Halloween because there's already a film called Halloween. Anyway, it's so confusing. But anyway, Scream 5 is the second best after the original. I haven't seen 6, but I'm looking forward to it. Oh, I remember seeing Scream in the movie theater. So wow. I mean, Chronologic's talking about Scream. So going to watch Scream tonight. Bobby Lee, well done. Oh yes, of course, yes, of course, Jerry Brett, of course. Love Sherlock Holmes. Don't get me started on Sherlock Holmes. It's fantastic. Okay, it's Times Square, cool. There's New York. What was it? What was the film? Was it like Short Circuit? Are there any Short Circuit fans? Short Circuit and Short Circuit 2. Do you remember there was Short Circuit 2? I think it was supposed to be set in New York, but it's actually like in Canada. Bobby Lee Pennies from Heaven. Oh, very cool. The old Blu-rays. Very cool. Unrestored. Yes, thank you very much, Wongar Y. Ken of the Legion, it's just nice to see you. Okay, and very good. Lion of the Desert. Well done. I'm sorry, I have to scrolling through here because I have to go in about a couple minutes. I agree. Or actually, I would temper my comment and say I wish they could release everything that has ever been released when it comes to Ashes of Time. Everything. That's my one thing about the Wongar Y set from Criterion. I wish they had included the previous versions. Well, that would have made it perfect. That would have made it perfect. You didn't have to go all the way with the restoration. It would have been perfect. Oh well. Oscars. Happy Friday. Yeah, chronologic. Yeah, I in my discussions on the Wongar Y sets, Chunking Express, I do make reference to the music and how I felt about it. So if you're interested, you can check out those videos. Oh wow, you watched all 11. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I that warms my heart. Okay, Oscars. Oh, The Man Who Fell. So I learned this. The Man Who Fell to Earth is also getting a like a 4K release to it. Has it already been released? Was it Studio Canal? I forget. I'm so bad with this news. I'm so sorry. But has it already been released? I don't know. But well. Oh, Oliver Reed. Oh yes. Or I was talking about The Brood. You know, the David Cronenberg film The Brood the other day, not the other last month or the previous month or whatever. And I always love when Oliver Reed says, you know, when the character is Candy. I love when Oliver Reed says, Candy. I love, so cool, Oliver Reed. Wow. Not just Oliver Reed in films, but just you go online, look up Oliver Reed talk shows. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. All right. Let's see. Never been interested in Scream 1 or any other sequel. Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Thank you. Nick is here. Oh, so I'm sorry. ED1 RKO 17. That's about the question about Chunking Express, right? I hope you can find that really cool digipack. It's one of the early digipacks of Criterion, so in many ways, it's kind of like the history of Criterion in many ways. Oops, Zelda. Oh, cool. Very cool. Zelda. Thank you so much. Basement Blues, our dear friend Basement Blues. Check out Basement Blues channel and subscribe to Basement Blues. I had so much. I want to do that game again about the, you know, do you have this? Do you have, you know, I need to, I need to get a copy of Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And I don't know which copy to get. I don't know which version is the best version. So I want to, maybe if we can talk again, you can recommend to me what the best version of Terminator 2 Judgment Day should be. So I'm ashamed to admit, for whatever reason, I just never was able to get a good version of Terminator. I was never able to get Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but I want to remedy that because I want to get good. But I don't know which version to get, so you got to let me know. Creed 3, okay, Marco. Oh, cool. I haven't seen Creed 3 yet, but I'll have to check it out. Thank you. Oh, cool! Wow, Chrono, you're kidding. Oh, it's a great game. Switch. Yes, CJ. Any Switch fans? Yes, Splatoon 3 is my favorite game. I love Pikmin. Pikmin 3, yes. Oh, fantastic. Let's see. So a lot of game. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through here because I have to go soon. So I'm so sorry here. Just let's see. Juan is here. Hello, it's nice to see you. Spinoza, it's nice to see you, my dear friend. Sean. Is there a Vertigo game on Switch? Are you serious? I've never even heard of. See, you're teaching me all these things today. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Is there a Vertigo game? How do you play a Vertigo game on Switch? I can't. That's amazing. What do you do? You're like, you got to go through the docks. You got to go and try to find where is Gavin Elster's office. You go to the left, you go to straight. You got to fight all these people. Is that maybe you got to find where is Hitchcock? Where is the Hitchcock cameo? That sort of thing, or you know, you got to go to Ernie's and try to find in the crowded dining room area, where is Madeline, where's Gavin Elster. You got a spot, you got to pick, is it the right one, or you're going to pick some random stranger and they boo, and you get your head you get your head knocked out by some guy holding an umbrella or something like that. I don't know. That'll be cool. Oh wow, all the possibilities are endless. Vertigo on the Nintendo Switch. Oh, that's so cool. And maybe you can make cameos. You know, suddenly Scotty is driving to the to the church area there, and then I suddenly see jump all through the woods, and you see it's Nintendo, so you can make cameos like Mario and Luigi. Oh, it's so cool. Kirby, wow! Could you imagine Kirby flying and trying to fight Scotty? The top there. Oh, that's so cool. The final battle boss is like Smash Brothers. Could you imagine Super Smash Brothers? You know, all these characters like Mario versus I don't know Ryu from Street Fighter. So but instead you have like Scotty versus that'd be so Scotty versus Mario. Oh wow, so cool. Anyway, they should do that. They should try to integrate that more or like Splatoon, but you can play as your favorite Alfred Hitchcock character. So then you're gonna fight all these people like like I don't know like Norman Bates. With his paint gun, or I don't know. Maybe for me, I would be like, maybe I wouldn't choose Norman Bates. Maybe I would choose someone who, maybe I'd be like Lila. I would be like Lila Crane. I'd be Lila Crane. Like Lila Crane's like getting, her Splatoon paint gun. Lila Crane. Yeah. Anyway, I've got to go. Because I have to drop my daughter off. So I'm gonna scroll. Oh, Seth Walsh. Sorry about. Oh wow, you're so kind. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Black Eyes was on YouTube. Oh really? Oh, I didn't know this. Oh well, because I saw. Yeah. I was able to see a VHS recording of it, but I don't have the VHS recording of it anymore. So. Oh, Megan with Brimstone and Treacle. Wow. Wow. Very cool. Wow. It's a really intense work. Really intense work, as you mentioned. Stagecoach. Very cool. Oh, cool. Sorry, I'm scrolling down. Oh, Seth, I want to say thank you. So look at this, Seth. Look at this with the super chat. Oh, wow, Seth. Yes, I shouted out Seth Walsh in the finale discussion of Twin Peaks Firewalk with me. So I needed that push. So thank you so much. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have to go. This is oh my goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm missing out. I'm gonna try. Oh, if I skipped your comment, I'm so sorry. Oh no. I'll have to do this again. All right, Zeropa, Belt Bruce GR's here. Thank you. Oh, cool. Oh, thank you. Blah blah. Thank you. Oh, so I should check out Arrow's Twitter account. Okay, I'll do that right now. Thank you. So I don't know anything about this. So thank you so much. Okay, brighter from. Oh, very cool. Look at this. Jay Morris. I'm so sorry. I'm skipping over because I really have to go in a minute. And the human condition. Cool. So out of the blue. It's Kubrick. Aaron K is here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my dear friends. All right. I'm so sorry about this. And again, apologies for the bad transmission, bad internet. The light went out. I'm falling apart here. To quote Midnight Cowboy. But any event, thank you so much. Let's do this again very soon. Very, very soon. Thank you once again for making me feel so welcome, and you've inspired me to keep on going. So thank you for that. My deep appreciation to all of you. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. So we'll talk again very soon. So I'll see you again at the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend, and cheers. And let's end with Usual Suspects quote. Okay. And like that, he's gone. Not yet, because I haven't pressed the button.